Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon, and today it's time for Drampa, aka the Garbodor Drampa deck. I believe this has been sort of misinterpreted after seeing some Seattle results and some Seattle lists. I believe that the deck is not being played optimally, and that's surprising, seeing as though how good it did in Seattle and how good it's continued to do in the last couple of regionals. But I believe that now we're in a format where everyone is aware of Garbodor. We need to move further away from Trashalanche and move more towards a Drampa focus, where we're using Max Elixirs to try and be... I really feel this deck is much more like a Yveltal Garbodor previously used to be, where you're trying to Elixir, DCE, get one-hit knockouts, and have the fallback of Garbotoxin, and actually now having Trashalanche as like a tech attacker for the late game. I think that's a much better focus for the deck. So that's how I've been building it. That's how I've been playing it for a few weeks now. And I still feel that this is definitely a top contender in the format. But I do feel that the focus needs to be elsewhere these days, because people are so aware and conscious of playing too many items, and they figured out how to play around Garbodor for the most part. So now he just becomes the late game sweeper. And we go really aggressive with our Drampas in the early turns. So let's have a look at my list. I feel this is very strong. So let's start off with 3 Drampa GX. It is a 180 HP colorless Pokemon with weakness to fighting, which is awkward at times. There's Lycanroc, there's Zygarde, there's Persimmon, but they're not too bad. So really I would say that Drampa has quite a good weakness. So he is quite a tanky Pokemon with 3 attacks, all have good value in here. Righteous Edge does 20 and is able to discard a special attached to your opponent's active. This is helpful against things like Ninetales, Decidueye, even to an extent things like Zoroark and other Stage 1 Pokemon. Obviously it's terrible damage if you're not getting one hits on these Pokemon in response, but at least you can remove these energies, and combined with things like N, it can be a saving grace at times. We then have Berserk for 3 colorless energy, which is the main attack of Drampa. It does 80 damage base, which with the choice band is 110, so we're KOing Shaymin EXs even without the support of his effect. However, if we have any of our own bench Pokemon with any damage counters on them, this does an additional 70, so we're doing 150 via Team Magma Secret Base, where we'll try and put this down and then start benching Pokemon. And then we have 3 choice band in the list to hit the magical 180 damage, which can knock out opposing Drampas, Darkrai's, Tapu Lele's, pretty much any EX or GX Pokemon that isn't evolved. So this is very good for you. And yeah, I do like this attack. It's still very, very valid. And then we have Big Wheel GX, which allows us to shuffle our hand into the deck and draw 10 cards, which is a pretty cool GX attack, I must say. I have found myself using this attack quite often, mainly because it means that we can get ourselves back into a fresh hand, try and hit more elixirs, try and hit our stadium if we've not found it, try and find double colorless energy. We are a combo based deck, but we do aim to get the Berserk by at least turn 2 really, and Big Wheel will help us get there. Alternatively, if you're already sat on a good hand and you get N to a low hand size, you can Big Wheel and hope to guarantee game for the following turns. So it is a very good GX attack option. The only other GX attack we have is via Tapu Lele. We have Tapu Cure GX available to us, allowing us to heal all damage from 2 of your bench Pokemon. There's a lot of one-hit KOs in the format, at least something that can KO Drampa. So it's rare you'll get this Tapu Cure off, but it's definitely something to note against decks like Decidueye. Lele's in the deck also for its ability, of course, Wonder Tag. It allows you to search a deck for a supporter when you bench it, which is obviously amazing for the consistency aspect. And also means we can fish out cards like Brigette and Hex Maniac, which are pretty cool at different points in the game. Then we have Energy Drive as well, which is an option. We're already playing Double Colorless, we're already playing Elixirs, so you can do 20 times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon. This is also a very cool option for you. And we can go aggro Lele sometimes with this deck. You'll notice we're playing a 3-2-1 line of Garbodor. Previously, it used to be a solid 4-3-1 split. But as I mentioned toward the start of the video, people play around Trashalanche quite a lot right now. So we want to reduce the focus on Garbodor and just keep him in here as a more late game centric card. Choosing to play 3 Acid Spray Trubbish, I believe this is the strongest one, because Having the option of discarding energy from your opponent's Pokemon can be really helpful at times for slowing down their development. Also, we have this guy is the 2-count, the aggressive Garbodor, 120 HP, Psychic type, still a like crazy good attacker, don't get me wrong. For a single Psychic, we can do 20 times the amount of items in their discard pile. I mean, even decks that are conscious of this damage, they will eventually rack up their discard pile. And there's hidden value to this Garbodor because people aren't playing their items. And if they're not playing their items, sometimes it means that it's hurting their own setup options. And in doing so, it's hard for them to keep up with the Drampa. So either they go too slow to keep up with Drampas, or they put items in the discard pile, and Garbodor is going to get pretty hefty, nicely, which is going to be good. And he's going to be our late game sweeper. We do also have Acid Spray. We play Double Colorless in the deck, so it's an option for certain. 70 damage, and again, we have the coin flip to discard energy, which is cool. With Choice Band, you can be doing 100 turn 2 and sometimes discarding energy. Again, this is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with attaching to Trubbishes, especially when we have the support of Elixirs now. You can also be charging up Drampas on the bench, whilst just trying to slow the opponent down with Acid Spray and putting damage on them. So if you've missed your combo, there's nothing wrong with going aggro Garbodor in the early turns either. Sticking with the one Garbotoxin Garbodor, whenever he's got the tool on, we deny every other player's abilities, which is really very good for us. It's still obviously a strong option. Even decks that play multiple Field Blower, you're forcing them to dig for it. You can use an N and play Floatstone as well. We deny Ultra Ball as an out, as well as physical Lele and Shaymin copies. So it's just a really good card. It denies Artillery Draw from like Ninetales and Gyarados and other Stage 1 decks. It denies all sorts. Manaphy retreating for Aquabox, Decidueye, Metagross, Volcanion. The list is really huge. The amount that Garbotoxin does cover, it does just mean that people can have, like, they need to hit Field Blowers on certain turns, and if they can't, you just really storm ahead. A couple other Pokemon, we are playing the single copy of Oricorio. I think this is a really good card as well. Supernatural Dance, for each Pokemon in your opponent's discard pile, place a counter on one of your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. Oh, sorry. Any of your opponent's Pokemon in any way that you like. So this is the midway point between a counter to Vespiquen decks, because they naturally fill their discard pile, you know, with 15 Pokemon-ish sometimes, so you can sometimes get multiple knockouts in turns, or you can at least deal with one Pokemon or access their bench. You can KO something like a Shaymin EX without actually having to Lysandre, which is cool, which can keep you up in the prize race, so it's good for that. And there's also a pseudo-decent option against Gyarados at times as well. So that's pretty cool. Revelation Dance is actually its second attack, which I've used more and more lately, which is weird to me. But if there's no stadium in play, the attack does nothing. However, if there is a stadium, we're doing 30 damage for a single Colorless, which is actually quite efficient. Seeing as though it is a Psychic type, you can Choice Band it. You can actually deal 120 to Espeon GXs. And for 1 energy on a non-EX, or like a single prize Pokemon, that's really good for you. So Oricorio is a pretty cool card for a bunch of matchups, all covered into one nice single card package. And when we have Rescue Stretcher, we can get value sometimes more than once a game, which is very cool. Finally, one Shaymin EX is still in the deck. I know it is easy prizes for a lot of other players. However, I do feel like when you're trying to get this combo off, you're trying to get the turn 2 knockout with Drampa. You just need setup at times just to draw your cards. And again, we have DCE, so we can Sky Return bounce if need be. So yeah, pretty cool. Into the items, one Field Blower. It's going to be plus 40 damage at times for Trashalanche. At the same time, we're getting rid of tools from the opponent, which is cool, and also contesting the Stadium War. Even getting rid of your own Stadium at times can be relevant math-wise for keeping your own Pokemon out of knockout range from opposing Pokemon. We are playing one of Rescue Stretcher. This is hopefully going to recover Pokemon that are in the discard pile. You can debate playing this and Super Rod. Super Rod gives you the benefit of improving your Elixir outs if you've had to have Painful Sycamores earlier on in the game. But I like the immediate effect of Stretcher too much. It can grab you lele to win you the game, so even if you're N to 1 and you draw this card, you're still happy. So that's why I like Stretcher. Then we're playing the 4 ofs of Max Elixir, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 VS Seeker. The consistency cards, it's what makes the deck good. Drampa Garbodor has reduced in play due to the vibrance of the metagame. So I feel confident that I can play 4 counts of all these cards and get away with it, basically. from my testing in mirror matches, it's more about trying to get the early berserks off rather than trying to deny your own discard pile. It's all about getting the Drampas set up and having a backup Drampa ready to go if they are able to respond on you. If ever they have to Righteous Edge against your Drampa, like, you've already won the game, especially with Elixir support. So I feel I'm confident in the mirror match, even though I'm probably playing more items than my opponent, because just don't put 180's worth in your discard pile and you win the game. Or like 150 really, because of choice band. But if you can do that, you've won the game, because you're going to have more acceleration on your side. So you'll be able to stream Drampas when players who don't have Elixirs won't be able to. And they'll have to go for awkward 2 hits with like their Leles, their Garbodors and such. And that's just going to be great for us. So yeah, I like playing high items. I don't mind it. It hasn't hurt me in mirror matches, and it's consistent in every other aspect. We are playing 3 Team Magma Secret Base. It is very important, as I keep saying, to get the Berserk activated, so we are getting 1-hit knockouts. It's also going to put things in slightly better ranges if they have to, if your opponent has to put down Pokemon that they don't have a stadium replacement or a field blower at the time. It can sometimes be helpful for you, especially when you have like Oricorio that can do more spread against even things like Vespiquen. I'll harp back to. People try and, well, they don't really try and play around Oricorio, but they'll try and like evolve up into double Vespiquen on certain turns. But if you've had Magma base down, it puts them to 70, and that just makes it easier for you to get like a 2-hit KO. No, sorry, 2 prizes in 1 turn. So this can get hidden value here and there. We are playing the one-off Brigette, especially because you can lele for this card. It is excellent. It can grab you double Drampa Trubbish or double Trubbish Drampa, depending on the matchup, how important Garbotoxin is going to be, how many items you think they're going to play, and just whatever else you've started with, etc. 1 Hex Maniac, even with Garbotoxin, I like the option of this card. Again, I said just like how it's really important for Garbodor to be online, sometimes even with Garbotoxin developed, you will still go for Hex Maniac, because it is so important to ensure ability lock against the likes of Volcanion, Metagross, Vikavolt, Ninetales to an extent, Aquabox. There's so much this covers, Decidueye of course, so Hex is just phenomenal right now. I'm really debating adding a second Hex in here because I feel it's that viable. 2 Lysandre, standard counts, 3N for Sycamore again. Standard counts of the old draw supporters. Even with the 4 VS Seeker, I feel these are fine. 3 Choice Band improves the numbers for Drampa, gets us into those 1-hit KOs. It's a big piece of the puzzle. It also improves the maths for Oricorio, Lele, Garbodor, etc. The 3 Floatstone, obviously ideal for Garbodor because it has a 3 retreat cost on both of his forms, and also just moving Pokemon if you didn't lead Drampa. And then the 9 Psychic, in a very similar style to how the old Yveltal builds worked with the 4-9 split. We will be doing the same and mirroring that in Drampa Garb. Let's have a few different options for the deck. You can play Tapu Koko for the flying flip. If you're not happy with Oricorio, or sometimes even in addition to Oricorio, if you want to go down to 3 VS Seeker, I think the 4th VS is currently like my weakest card in the deck, or the card that I would first consider cutting. It's not really a weak card, it's just the first card I would consider cutting right now. Tapu Koko is very good. It improves your Gyarados much more than the Oricorio will. It's also very good in combination with Team Magma Secret Base. It can just stop people playing Combies until they found their stadium at times, which is awesome. And he's a free retreater, so in between turns, or just leading out with him, gives you much better odds of getting Elixir DCE, Choice Band, Stadium, Pokemon, which is like a long combo. But if you start Koko, it's much better. And plus, you're not really looking for the combo turn 1, you're looking for it turn 2. So yeah, you don't need to have all those pieces all in 1 turn, it's over 2 turns. There's actually one other card that I will consider. I've said that Tapu Cure is important at times, Big Wheel can be helpful, but Taurus is a bread and butter GX attacker. If you want to play a Ninja Boy package, you can go for it. I said earlier that there's a lot of decks that just will 1-hit KO, and that's the simple reason why I'm not playing Tauros. But if you feel like putting him in, you can indeed. A few supporter options. Delinquent, I've flirted with here and there. For the purposes of the video, I thought I'd just show off the most consistent list I could think of. Again, you can consider going down a VS Seeker to add Delinquent. I'm really not opposed to that. Again, it can help Garbodor force the maths in your favour, and it can just catch people at times when they can't play around it, which is pretty cool. And then we have Olympia as well, if you want an additional switching option. Now that there are some decks playing like 3 Field Blower, like Vikavolt and Metagross play a lot of Field Blowers, the 3 Floatstone are much less helpful, and it's a bit of a worry at times. If you put 2 Floatstone down on a single turn, they both get blowered off, it's kind of awkward. So having Olympia as the backup could be a nice switching option. Again, I'm just trying to show the most consistent list right now. I already said I'd consider going up to more Hex Maniacs, but you could go even further, going up to 3 or maybe even 4 Tapu Leles and having 2 to 3 Hex Maniac and go down a much heavier disruption route with the deck. I think then you do start trimming down elixirs to 3 energy down to 8, so you play 12 and 3 elixirs, and then you add in Lele and second Hex, and I think the option of the deck is then to Wonder Tag for the first 2 turns of the game, hexing while you do, and then just attaching DCs and stuff onto Drampa in the active, and trying to disrupt your opponent that way. I've been toying around with it. I'm not hugely confident on it just yet, but I think there's something there because the format is becoming much more ability focused right now. Even in decks that aren't ability heavy, people rely on Lele for Brigette turn 1, and being able to hex going first is really big right now a lot of the time. Another card that you're not seeing in my list is Rainbow Energy. It's another activator for Drampa outside the stadium, but overall I don't value it highly enough. I believe it's way too slow and it doesn't combo with Elixir, so that's why it's not in the list. But there we go. Let's jump into some games with Drampa Garb. I'm really happy with my list. I think it's very strong, very safe, and the correct way to build the deck currently, because there's such a fear of Drampa and Garbodor based on Seattle, and the fear's kind of going away now, but definitely we saw for like Birmingham, Madison, to an extent Mexico, there's decks that are just not playing many items right now because they think playing no items beats all the Drampa Garbs, but you can just go a heavier Drampa focus and still be a very strong deck in my opinion. So what is this? Skyfield? They play Switch. I have to assume Ray, but interesting. It could be Guardi as well. We'll see. Either deck gets hurt heavily by Garbotoxin, which is going to be good. Let's draw a card. They lead Hooper. Definitely a mega deck. They're playing Trainer's Mail. A lot of the mega decks have cut mail because they naturally need to play so many like Spirit Links and stuff. Interesting. This could be a Mega Ray deck that has the donk potential of Latios. Fire Energy. Interesting. It's a Fire Quasar, I guess. Or it's the one of Fire Energy in a Guardi deck. Yeah, it's Ray. Okay. Garbodor's a big deal. Drampa can help slow them down as well with Righteous Edges. But it's not an easy matchup. Even Oricorio puts some work in this matchup actually. Got the awkward decision of, do I retreat Hooper and get hurt heavily by Field Blower, or do I just leave it active? Chose to leave it active, which is fair enough. I'm going to Ultra Ball away these targets. If we had energy in hand, I would go Brigette here every time, but we don't. So I think we will have to be ending this turn. I'll Floatstone. Do I Stadium Drampa or do I just Drampa? I might just go Drampa then Stadium then N. I guess that's my best line. And we'll play the end. No energy kind of hurts. Okay. Now we have energy. And we have Max Elixir, which is nice. Do I need to big wheel here? Our hand isn't great. I think I'm always attaching here. I think I do want to protect Trubbish. And if we're protecting Trubbish, I think it's because we're big wheeling. It's very rare that Rayquazas play N. Well, they'll play like one copy. That's about it. Okay. This hand isn't great despite being in 10 cards. Ooh, second DCE. Here's Ultra Ball. And here's Shaymin. Gonna set up 4 cards. It's crazy how there's still so much Ray on the ladder. My last video had a bunch of Ray decks on the ladder as well. Baffles me. I mean, I guess it doesn't have many bad matchups right now, but it's a 3rd DC committed. Interesting. There's the Volcanion EX. They've already commit 2 float stones, so this could be a win condition. We know they play Switch though, because we saw it in their open. Oh, the Switch is discarded. Win condition? I think I've spotted myself a win condition. Especially because we can Righteous Edge off Double Colorless energies. And they've already commit 3. I think we found ourselves a win condition. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. We already have in this card. I'm pretty certain that's the supporter I'll have to be using next turn if he does get out of this. So I'll take Brigette over N just in case we have like a free turn to do what we want. I think I need to grab a second Drampa here over Garbotoxin. Haven't seen any blowers from them yet. Let's get a poke going. There's no reason for us to not poke, because we can Oricorio at some point as well, if this does lock them for a while. I imagine they'll just attach a basic energy to the active and pass. Delinquent's quite important for the Rayquaza matchup, huh? Okay, they're going to put 3 basic energy back into the deck, and then they're just going to Sycamore. Hoping to find some of that basic energy, I guess. There's another Rayquaza. There's a Mega. And a pass. No basic energy is good. Means we don't need to N here. Means we can do this. Grab ourselves Oricorio. I mean, there's 10 damage, so it's a slow grind. But don't underestimate the power. Yeah, here's the basic energy. Let's end here. Don't mind this at all. So they have one double colorless remaining. Potentially they get it off 5 cards. Ooh, they play Rope. Oh, I hope it's not Rope Lysandre. That would make me very sad. They play Switch, Rope, and Double Floatstone. That's such a high count for normal rare. I'm sad. Okay, it's not a complete lost cause because it wasn't the one hit KO on an EX. Hex doesn't do much, but I don't want to draw back into it. This is always a Righteous Edge turn. Basically, our goal is to make him not able to develop a second Mega Ray ever. That's the goal. They have 2 Mega Turbo, 1 DC remaining. We do need to hit Choice Band off of our N though. Right, yeah. If we don't hit Choice Band, it's got to be another Righteous Edge poke. Oh boy. Oh dear. How much damage have we got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 200. Okay. Well, this is awkward, huh? Don't feel like I want to get rid of the Sky Field, even though it means we could lose. I think we don't win if he just gets rid of Hooper, Volk. No, he'd get rid of Volk, Quasar, Hooper, I guess. And I don't think we ever win the game if that's the case. So let's just hope that they didn't draw into Energy plus Mega Turbo or the last DC. Just a pass. This is great news. We don't have a damaged Pokemon though. I think we've got to go Garbodor here. I'm actually not going to put the Floatstone on because I want to keep Choice Band potential around. Do I need to end them back down to 1 here? They've lost 4 Shaymin, 2 Hooper. They haven't played Dragonite, but that's fine because they're only gaining 1 bench space. It does mean that Rescue Stretcher becomes an out to draw lots of cards. it does mean that Ultra Ball can get them Lele, which I haven't seen yet. So I think we're re-enning and rolling the dice again. To try and deny Ultra Ball. Will I have time to ever play Garbodor? I don't think I will. Will I ever play Magma Secret Base? Possibly. So I guess we get rid of the Elixir. What am I searching for? Or am I just thinning? I guess if I'm not searching for anything, we'll just attack. We want to get a Trubbish off the prizes. That would be pretty good. Okay. Let's see now. Oh, they went into Volcanion? That's crazy. Okay, they have an end response. Maybe I should have thinned. Well, this is good. It's another pass. I mean, we don't need anything off the Sycamores, right? It's just trash. Now return away. They need to have their last DCE plus Mega Turbo. Still very reasonable, but they only have a couple outs here. Yeah, we got there. Nice. That was an interesting game. Rayquaza is scary. Especially when it plays 4 switch cards. I thought we had them with the Volk. But they played the Rope as well. Interesting game. Interesting. Yeah, that was weird. But we got there. Let's try again. I have 5 hours to get 3 free packs. So the clock's ticking, guys. I don't think we'll have enough time for Lysandre, but who knows? With enough Drampa Garbodor battles, we could get there. Alrighty, we are going first here. We managed to win our last game with only 1 Trubbish available, which is quite interesting. So, it's hands like this where you think, thank goodness for Big Wheel. Because otherwise we'd be in a spot of bother. Ah, a Lurantis Bulu. Not Lurantis, Lurantis Plume. We also top deck Tapu Lele, which is incredible. Is my turn 1 play just going to be Hex, with my turn 2 play being Big Wheel? Big Wheel wants developing a Garbodor. Sounds really good to me. Alternative lines. I don't see anything though this game with prize 2. Prize 2 Drampa. We're going to retreat now to play around Blower. I was going to attach now in case they have N. We'll Hex and pass. See what this does. Ability lock from turn 1 onwards is pretty good against a deck that's very combo focused. Here's the Forest at least. There's Lurantis. That's a Sycamore. Please don't be too grass energy. Oh my god. That's so stupid. What even is Hex? What even is Hex in this day and age? Oh my goodness. What? Well, let's just top deck as a porter, shall we? No. No, you did not get Plume with no abilities. Whoa. Oh, tilt factor increasing. Wow, that's incredible. Oh my goodness. That, ladies and gents, equals incredible. Oh no. Now, there's a debate here into not putting down ability lock because he kind of needs items now to set up another Lurantis. And we're big wheeling. But no, it's probably dumb. Give me a fresh hand. Force the GX attack out early. Whoa, should not have scooped there. That does not make sense. Well, I don't know. That was weird. I can't believe they're the ones scooping after what they did turn one. Gross. But we'll take it. We'll take it. It's another win for us. Just when you thought Hex turn one was good, people can get a stage 2 and a stage 1 and 3 energies on board, you know, on turn 1. So, throwing out the rule book today. Let's have another game. Psychic Fighting Dark. Those aren't types I like to see. So bad matchups for this deck. Other than the fighting stuff, Zoroark is really hard as well. I think those are the only cards that I really don't want to run into. I also think without playing Kukui, Greninja is very hard. We have Elixir here. What's my turn 1 play? It's Ultra Ball Lele. But I think, because we're going first, I'm quite happy to just attach active, maybe even Elixir to Lele. Oh, we're not going first, we're going second. Oh. Whoops. Don't know why I thought I was going first there. This isn't terrible though. I'd be kind of sad if we got end. Look, it's Turbo Darkrai. I'm kind of sad. We got end. Turbo Darkrai is very much focused on how quickly we get our Drampa going. Oh my god, we prized 2 Drampas again. What is wrong with this game? Oh no, that's so bad for us. That's so impossibly bad for us. Oh, that's really bad. well, we have the combo. Do I Ultra Ball instead of Brigette here and then Big Wheel? I'll be discarding... No, I'll be getting rid of the DCE, which is the only thing we'll be whiffing. But I think this is the smartest thing to do because we'll have a supporter for next turn. And with 10 cards, we'll find ourselves what we need. Darkrai never plays Blower. So we'll just get a fresh hand here. Okay. We're going to get End anyway because it's in their discard pile. So they'll just VS N every time. Oh, not every time. I lied. Go for the non-EX knockout in order to try and stop the Drampa. And we don't currently have Stadium in hand, which is annoying. We actually have free retreat on our guys because of the altar. We win the game this turn if we hit what we need. I'm going to discard the Trubbish to put them back into the deck, so we have higher chances of drawing into it again. It's annoying that we have to end. It's really annoying because the hand was terrible. Oh, we missed it. But we can dig with Shaymin. So we'll hold the Lele, even though it's one less card, because it's half the activation we need. 3 cards to hit Stadium. The pain, the suffering, the sadness. Darkrai's got a freebie. That's sad. But as long as they don't have EXP shares, we could still be in good shape here. Okay, his Choice Band to Yveltal, an attachment. And 60 damage. I imagine attaching to the other Yveltal, yeah. Okay, we will always be Lysandring here. Every time. We have freedom of movement with the Stadium. So we'll try and protect Drampa. And attack with Tapu Lele. Yes, we got a Drampa out the prizes. This is good news. This is excellent news. We're going to get hit with an N, nonetheless. Oh, we drew back into Drampa. What a beast. You're a beast, Drampa. I forgive you for being prized. You're hereby forgiven. Okay, they're going to retreat into the banded Yveltal. Oh boy, they just gave us the activation for Drampa. Whoops. Whoops indeed, huh? And people used to play Turbo Dark. Well, they started playing Turbo Darkrai again because they believed it beat Drampa Garb. But when you play Elixirs like a madman like me, it goes very well. Let's also bear in mind that they have not hit Elixirs at all. But that's not important. Right, they finally have Sycamore. They can't N us. They need to hit like Double Elixir this turn on a Darkrai. They're gonna lele here. Grabbing the Fan Club. Here's an Elixir. Okay, if they have a second Elixir, this could still KO us. Whoa, they didn't... Why? Why though? You lost the game. Oh, because they didn't have Choice Band, that's why. Well, it's over. Drampa hits hard, it turns out. Nice, we got there. So, those are some shorter games. Sorry that I have to cut this video short, but I'm about to be streaming later on today, so hopefully you can forgive me. It's not like I'm just lazy on Pokemon, it's that I've got more Pokemon to get to. So yeah, that is my list. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think about Drampa Garbodor in general. Is it still one of the best decks in the format? I personally believe it is, as long as you tilt it towards the Drampa part of the deck and leave Garbodor for, as we saw against Rayquaza, a late game factor that comes in and sweeps for you, which is exactly what happened actually. He took all 6 of our prizes. So that is going to be my list. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But for now, it has been Joe from OmniPoke, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Cheers.